Hey, this is Tony Schumacher, driver of the U.S. Army Top Fuel Dragster out here at ZMAX Dragway in Charlotte for the 5th race of the season. And throughout the week, we've been taking questions from our Go Army Facebook and Twitter fans and followers. So once again, we're going to answer some of them for you. First question is Jeanette Kane asks, what is the best part of any given race weekend for you other than getting the Wally? And that's funny because every Sunday I do a speech, to all our hospitality, and I always say it's not getting the trophy that's the best. We do really appreciate that. It's the Sunday morning, before you've done all of it, before you've gotten it figured out, or you've got the 9 guys that are capable of doing it, the right team. You're fast, the other car's fast, and you got to figure out a way to go out and win 4 rounds. You got to get with this team capable of pulling off these miracles. At the end of the day, the outcome. It's that beginning of the day on Sunday after church and after you had your breakfast, when you got to suck it up 4 times to win. It's a great question. Brendan Koval asks, how do I become a top fuel dragster mechanic, and what's the quickest way to become a top fuel driver? There's no quick way to become a top fuel driver without starting your own team and putting yourself in the car, which is not the safest thing to do for anybody. There's a respect that has to be given to these cars. They're wicked fast. I took 10 years and drove super street, super comp, jet cars, formula cars, alcohol funny cars, steps along the way. If you want to race, don't set your goal on just top fuel. Go into racing. See if you like it. Race super comp, fun class. 8 seconds in the quarter mile is a lot faster than people think. It's a dragster, it's an open cockpit, and you'll see if you even like it. As far as being a mechanic, you can go through tech schools. You want to get a CDL. What we look at, we have 21 semis at DSR Racing going down the road. We need people with CDLs that can also do that, but we want guys that don't walk in and say, hey, how much do you pay to work on cars? These guys have to care as much as the other 9 guys on the car, the other 8 guys, and as much as a driver about winning races. You got to work hard, and we can tell it. When we look at a resume, Mike Lewis on our team, the manager of DSR, he'll say, when we look at the resume, we don't care if you worked at McDonald's. If you showed up every day when we called the boss and you worked hard, that's what matters. We don't need people calling in sick. There's no sick days here. I can't call in sick no matter how bad it is. Get in the car and have to do our job. But put a resume together and show that you want to work. Research the company, research the sponsor. No matter what job you want, I tell kids this all the time. When you're going for a job, you have Google. Look at the team. Look at the job you're going for. Understand it. When you're talking to the boss, you can communicate on a level that he will appreciate. Because only a few guys are going to get hired right now. It's a tough world. It's a tough market. A lot of people out of work. Study hard and walk in, show like you want that job more than the next guy. Nick Beckhold asks, how loud is it in a top fuel dragster? Not that bad. It's really not. I wear molded earplugs. The car's power is going behind you. It's a little uncomfortable if the other car gets out and you smoke the tires and he's out there ahead of you because he's pushing the power right in your lap, but it's really not too bad. I don't like doing it without earplugs because it will deafen you, but when you have the right equipment on, there's things a lot louder. Being outside here at the racetrack, standing next to the generators really hurts my ears more than the actual run itself. Linda Schmidt, can you tell the minute you hit the throttle if something is not right? That's a great question, kind of funny, because if by a minute I've already gotten in the car, out of the car, made the run, so it's really second. And no, when you hit the throttle, the car, generally speaking, is going forward. If it smokes the tires like we did in Vegas, you got a problem. But that's only if that happens. If the car's just going out on a run, and it hasn't dropped the cylinder right away and done something like that, you're on a pretty good run. You may not know the number it ran, but if it puts a cylinder out, the car will turn. If it smokes the tires, crystal clear. If it hits a wheelie bar and turns the car and there's a wall in front of you, guess what? Got a problem. But most of the time the car leaves and you're starting to figure it out after 100, 200 feet. Pretty good question. Mary Rickenbacher asks, what is it like to represent something as awesome as the U.S. Army? I'll repeat that. Awesome as the U.S. Army. That's exactly how it feels. Do you feel added pressure? Of course I do. I got 800,000 awesome soldiers and all these veterans of all different wars and future soldiers and their families, and they're overdoing these awesome jobs keeping us free. Absolutely, we feel more pressure. We want to win more. We want to be. We're not racing for a beer company or a tool company. We're racing for the United States, the freedom and just some awesomeness, and that's why we've won so much. You know, we've won more races than anyone in the history of the sport because we're surrounded by great people and inspire us. It's awesome stuff, guys. Well, thanks again to our Facebook and Twitter fans and followers, and me and Ryan Newman will answer questions all year long. Every race we read the questions, and I'm sorry we can't get to them all. We pick the ones we can. We pick them to the best, you know, looking back at the history on what we haven't answered yet. But keep them coming, you know, in due time we'll try to get to them all, and thank you for tuning in.